Alright, man, these Karens are out of control. It's very simple. We've already seen some of the examples in the last few weeks of how Karens have been handling themselves. And honestly, it's beyond me, right? Like, I don't understand how they get through life being this way, being so perpetually upset by anything and everything. Just not being able to handle themselves like a normal human being in virtually any situation. But this one, at least to me, I think has taken the cake by far. I mean, this is just beyond reality, almost. At least it should be beyond reality. Unfortunately, it is not. But you probably have already seen this video if you're active over on Twitter. It has currently almost 220,000 retweets and over 500,000 likes. Pretty much everyone is denouncing the behavior in the video, which I think is a good thing because no human being should ever act this way. But with that being said, I guess I'll go ahead and give you guys a little bit of backstory here. So the tweet says, "Oh, when Karens take a walk with their dogs off leash in the famous Bramble in New York's Central Park, where it is clearly posted on signs that dogs must be leashed at all times, and someone like my brother, who is an avid birder, politely asks her to put her dog on the leash." Okay, so just enforcing a very basic rule. I mean, honestly, I don't go to dog parks. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if this is a dog park or if it's just a part of Central Park. I've never been to New York or Central Park, so I don't go to dog parks for a lot of reasons. But, I mean, I think that it's a very fucking basic rule to follow, right? Like, yeah, put your dog on a leash, don't let it attack other people's dogs or jump up on people. I think that's pretty basic, right? Like, you gotta have some sort of control over the dog. And it's not like, you know, it's a very hard rule to follow, right? I don't think it is. I mean, you're gonna see in the video, she quite literally has a leash for the dog, she just doesn't have it on him. Not really sure what the reasoning behind that is, but this guy is an avid birder. I guess he watches birds or something, or he, like, looks at them and takes pictures of them or whatever, which is, I guess that's cool, right? Like, I'm assuming there's a lot of different birds and stuff in Central Park to take a look at. So he's just there minding his own business, and then he sees that this woman doesn't have her dog on a leash and very politely asks her to put it on a leash, which, once again, very simple and basic request, very respectable request, right? If someone asked me to put my dog on a leash, if I, for whatever reason, didn't have it on, I'd just be like, all right, I got it, and just, you know, do it. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but apparently Karen thought otherwise, because take a look at this.
Would you please stop? Sir, I'm asking you to stop.
Please don't come close to me.
Sir, I'm asking you to stop recording me.
Please don't come close to me.
Please take your phone off.
Please don't come close to
And
me.
I'm taking a picture and calling the cops.
Please call the cops.
Alright, two things that I want to note right here at this part of the video. We're only 7 seconds in. Number one, she is approaching him, which, as her behavior dictates later, is something she should have never have done in this situation. And number two, she was grabbing up the dog and looking like she was gonna leash it, but then is now dragging it by the collar, which makes no sense because, I mean, if you're gonna take the dog, you can just leash it and not choke it to death. I don't know, just my 2 cents on it, but...
Please call the cops.
I'm gonna tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Please tell them whatever you like.
Alright, I really don't know what it is with Karens and just, like, loving to call the police when there's absolutely no reason to call them, but let's just consider this for a minute, because I know how people are always, like, there's always obviously 2 sides to a story, I understand that, but people are always, like, wanting to know all the facts of it, which is cool, right? I understand that. She says that she feels threatened, or at least that's what she's gonna call the police and tell them, that she feels threatened by this guy. Yet, she obviously on camera approached him with no problem. Now, I want to pose the question to everyone watching this video. If you felt threatened by somebody at the park, would your first instinct be to walk toward them? Personally speaking, I probably wouldn't. If this dude was such a threat and like he was such a problem to this woman, you would think she would have gotten as far away from him as possible. But she didn't, so I think Karin has presented some very interesting behavior here. Also gotta love how she's admitting on camera that she's going to make a false police report on her phone. Because she obviously doesn't feel threatened, but she's gonna tell the police that this dude is down here threatening her and whatnot, so... I just want everyone to know that that is actually a crime in and of itself. You're not allowed to make false police reports on the phone. You're not allowed to call emergency services without a justifiable reason, okay?
Excuse me?
Okay, look at how the dog is now behaving, okay? The dog is very clearly distressed by what's happening, right? Because she is just choking it to death. That is not how you hold a dog, okay? If that's how if the dog was comfortable, okay, it would not be reacting in that way. Put the leash on the dog, hold the leash. Let the dog have some space. You don't have to hold it by its neck.
I'm sorry, I'm in the ramble, and there is a man, African American, he has a bicycle helmet. He is recording me and threatening me and my dog.
Alright, he's threatening her and her dog, but throughout this recording so far, we've seen no indication that she is threatened or that he even threatened her in the first place. As a matter of fact, he encouraged her to call the police because she had no actual grounds to fucking call them in the first place. So I also want to pose the question because I know a lot of people are upset by the handling of the dog, which is very understandable because, I mean, holy shit, you know? But who is currently more of a threat to the dog, okay? Let's say A, the African American man who is apparently threatening her and the dog by just checking out birds at the park and asking her a very simple question to please put the dog on a leash so that it's actually under control and isn't in everyone else's way, okay? Is he the threat? Or B, the woman making a false police report in Central Park, New York, while also strangle-holding her dog because she was asked to put it on a leash? Which one at this point in time do you think is more of a threat to the dog? Go ahead and let me know down in the comments who's in the wrong in this situation.
There is an African American man. I am in Central Park. He is recording me and threatening myself and my dog.
You gotta love how the dog screamed out in pain as it fell backwards because she's essentially strangling it. That was a really good move. Instead of just putting the dog on a goddamn leash, this is the extent we have to drag things out. This is how right Karens have to be, to the point where they don't even care about the dog, right? They don't care that they're essentially, potentially risking someone else's life by making a false police report. They only care that they were told to put their dog on a leash and they didn't want to do it. That's how right Karens have to be, man. Instead of just fucking complying with the rule of the park, complying with a very basic request, not even a demand, he asked her politely. And even if it was a demand, it's not that big of a damn deal, in my opinion, but that's how right you have to be, where this is the extent that you're gonna drag all this out to. And you might be like, oh, Optimus, she didn't put this guy's life in danger. That's bullshit, okay? Because let's go ahead and take a journey, I guess, into the mind of a police officer. Let's say you're a cop just out doing his duty or whatever, just, you know, strolling through the streets, I don't know, having a good time, whatever the fuck cops do in their daily routine when they're not, you know, responding to calls. But you get a call that at Central Park there is a man threatening a woman and her dog. And she's acting very dramatic on the phone, sounding like she's in pure just panic mode, acting like her life is in danger on the phone. You hear a dog in the background screaming out in pain because she's basically choke slamming it like it's a WWE match. How do you think that cop is going to respond to said call? You think he's just going to stroll on into the park and be like, hey, what's going on, everybody? I heard there was a guy around here threatening somebody's life. Because I don't think that's how a cop would probably respond in that situation. If you're a police officer and, you know, you feel like you have a different opinion than me, please let me know down in the comments. I'm actually interested to hear how any cops would respond in this situation. If a dispatcher told you that a woman reported her life and dog's life being in danger at the park because there's a man sitting there basically fucking with him, how would you reply to that situation?
And I'm sorry, I can't hear you either. I'm being threatened by a man in the ramble. Please send the cops immediately.
Alright, this is the part of the video where she starts acting like there's a severe issue. Like, I don't know, like she's being chased, like he's approaching her. Keep in mind, he's just sitting here calmly videotaping her after asking her to call the police. This kind of shit can legitimately get people killed. I mean, it's not a joke. First off, you shouldn't make fake calls to the police anyway, because there's actual emergencies going on. But it's a lot different when you're on the phone with the cops. Oh my god, he's threatening me. Oh my god, please get the police down here right now. That's a lot different of a call than just saying, oh hey, yeah, me and this guy are having a little bit of a disagreement down at the park. Please send the cops down here, which even then would have been a completely fucking ridiculous phone call to make. Yet, indicating panic to the police in a situation like this can legitimately risk someone's life. And if any Karens are watching this video and you feel a little upset by anything I'm saying, maybe please reevaluate how you'd handle yourself in said situation, because this is not that big of a deal, and nobody deserves to have to deal with your bullshit, so please learn to act like normal human beings.
in Central Park in the Rambo. I don't know.
Thank you.
Keep in mind, he stops recording after she complies with his very basic request. Once again, look how easy it was for her to leash that dog. You know, after all this, and what I find funny, too, notable, after she's essentially made a call to the police saying that she's being threatened, you know, being very emotional and erratic and acting like she's being fucking harmed, that's when she decides to put a leash on the dog. And this guy doesn't, you know, make a big ruckus out of it. Oh, you fucking put the leash on the dog after all this. He doesn't do any of that. He just says, thank you, and stops recording. Once again, think about this. If someone is a threat, right, and they're legitimately being an issue, do you think that they're going to start recording themselves in that situation and incriminate themselves? Probably not. Do you think that the woman would have approached him? Probably not. Do you think the woman would have made a false police report? Probably not. Do you think that after his very basic request would have been actually answered by the woman by leashing the dog, that he would say thank you and then stop recording? Probably not. So obviously, nothing she says adds up whatsoever, and it's very clear that she just decided to be an asshole. Now, thankfully, after all this happened, according to the original tweeter, the man was fine and was left to continue bird watching or whatever after she'd leashed the dog. I'm not necessarily sure if the cops ever even came out. I would assume that they did, saw that nothing was wrong, and then just went about their day, because as far as I know, she wasn't charged with, like, false use of police resources. But it turns out that this whole situation came around to bite Karin in her ass, because as of me recording this video, her workplace saw the viral video, or someone reported it to them. I don't really know how that whole situation broke down. She was first placed on administrative leave from her job, but then after their workplace quote-unquote conducted their internal investigation, she was terminated from her job. So she basically lost her job because she refused to leash a dog in the park and just be a normal human being and just not be an asshole. But it also goes further, as a lot of people are saying that she also lost ownership of her dog, who she almost killed during this video. Apparently her dog was taken away from her, or she gave it up or something. I don't know. As far as I know, she no longer has ownership over the dog, which I think is also a very good thing, because obviously she's not the right person to be controlling an animal or having a dog in the first place. But like I said, I'm not necessarily sure if she was ever charged with filing a false police report or whatever, you know, whatever the crime actually would be. I'm not sure what the specific name is for it. I've never done it, so I don't think she ended up getting charged for that. But considering all the circumstances, I'm just glad that, you know, the situation was resolved well, and she got herself in trouble at that point, because she fucking did all this herself. It wasn't like someone took control of her body and did this for her. But I don't understand the whole Karin thing, man. It just, I don't know, very simple shit gets turned into very ridiculous things. We already had Karin crying because she had to wear a mask in Kroger. We had Karin getting in a fight at Red Lobster's because she had to wait too long for food. And now we have Karin making false police reports over leashing a dog. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching the video. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. If you're a police officer or anything, please tell me how you'd handle this situation down below, or like what your department policy would be or something. I'm actually very intrigued. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. Thank you to my channel members. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, leashing his dog, and signing out.